My name is Rohit Lala, and today we are going to cover the topic that is one-way ANOVA. So, one-way ANOVA or ANOVA basically refers as analysis of variances. Analysis of variance is obviously a statistical tool which we are using to know whether there is a variation in different groups or not. Again, as I had said, it is a parametric test. It compares 3 or more than 3 groups, but sometimes we can also apply ANOVA when there are 2 groups. Basically, it is a type of t-test only. We are doing, you can say, calculation on the basis of mean only. And when we just compare t-test and ANOVA, always remember t is always equal to under root of f, or you can say f-test is also referring as ANOVA. As I had said, in statistics, assumptions are guiding principles. We should apply the test or not. So we should know whether we apply ANOVA, why we are applying. The justification can be given through the assumptions only, and that's why to learn assumption is again a most important part. So first, that is our individual variable should be categorical. That is, our groups should be more than 3 or you can say 3. The sample size should be randomly selected. See, this is most important thing. Whenever you select the samples, it should be randomly selected and there should be, you can say, normality can be found. This is again the most important assumption, that is sample size are roughly equal. Means the groups, if you are having 3 groups, when you select the sample, it should be as per the proportion, it should be roughly equal. Then and then we can justify that mean of population are equal or not. The dependent variable should be in a numerical, that is in a you can say quantitatively at a scale, that should be in a numeric form, that we will see. There should no extreme outliers found. Means if data like, see, extreme outliers are directly affecting the mean, and we are doing a test on the basis of mean, we are trying to find the variances. So if there are more you can say outliers, that would definitely affect the study, and that's why there should be no extreme outliers. Each group sample drawn from a normal distributed population. Means if each strata is there, because we are just having a different strata, the groups, we should try to see that strata should also have a normality. All population have a common variances, and all samples are drawn independently of each other. Means when you draw a sample from group A or group B or group C, there should no dependency, it should not affect the other groups. So these are the basic assumptions that we need to take care while we are applying the ANOVA. One small example, suppose I am having a 5 hectare or 6 hectare farm and I am planting tomato. In 2 acre I am planting one kind of tomato. In another 2 hectare the same kind of plant, and another 2 hectare the same kind of plant I am planting. Now I am having in a market, if I am having 3 different kinds of fertilizer, when I am applying it and when the tomatoes are ready, I just wanted to know whether these 3 different fertilizers which I had applied in part of my farm, that is A, B and C, that gives me some different tomatoes or not. So like on the basis of size, on the basis of color, contrast and all that. So I am measuring the data, I am capturing the sample data, and I am trying to justify whether that 3 fertilizers have same output or not. So that time I need to use my ANOVA test. This is something today I am going to show you in my video. That is, today we are going to learn a new software, that is Statecraft. In my previous videos also I had given some of the basic introduction of it. It's one of the good software. It is, you can say, make in India, or you can say made in India software, and we need to promote it. So I am just trying to work on it, and I am just trying to show it how it works. So this is our sum taken from Ken Black, Compute One Way ANOVA. See, these are the 3 groups. See, this is a categorical data. group 1, group 2, group 3. It categorizes that elements of all this are part of group 1, elements of this are of group 2, and elements of this are of group 3, representing of group 3. So this data 1, 2, 3 are categorical data, whereas this data is a numerical data. So we are trying to work on it. So let's see how to work on statecraft, how to interpret it, and all. So now we are at a statecraft window. Obviously, I will try to give you some information from scratch. So when we just enter in statecraft after login procedure, uh, we just need to prepare a new data set. Just try to give the name, anything like I would like to give my daughter's name. So Gunjan, again data is ANOVA. So this way we need to prepare a new data set. When we just prepare a new data set, they will ask that which kind of variables we need to add. So in this sum, like basically of ANOVA, when we have seen it, here you just need to like add two variables. One is your categorical variable and another is your numerical variable. So same way you need to just add it. Here you will just add the variable. You just give the name like first we will add categorical variable. So I am just writing cat, and obviously that variable is that data is numerical but it is categorical, so it is nominal data. Add another variable, that is you can say data. It is actually you can say showing the numbers, so that's why it's again you can say numerical variable. And after doing show, we just need to move to edit. So we need to change it and we just need to move to data. See the categorical and you can say data, we need to enter it. So here the mistake we are doing, like sir, it is not working because this pencil is not yet activated. When you click on this, it will be in a green form. After that you can add the data. So like here, if I am just giving a category of A, suppose three categories are there, A, B and C, or you can say any other categories 5, 6 and 7. So if suppose three variables have the same category of 5 and it has a data, it has a numerical data, that is 45, 45 and 50. So now this is one group. Same way you can add another category. Now here suppose the sixth category is there. So at that time it is a nominal data. It doesn't represent that 5 group, or you can say group of number 5 is greater than group of number 6. It is just a group name, or you can say category, and here the data is nominal. Like here every data like here the data is nominal in category, whereas here you are following the numerical data, filling the numerical data, and you can apply ANOVA. So actually I had just worked on the sum which we are going to learn. So I had entered the data. So we just need to go to table. It is an index form where every work is seen. So I had just worked on it. See the data I had written, this is our numerical data, and these are the categories, that is group 1, group 2 and group 3. You in sum also you can see here group 1 has 2, 1, 3, 3, 2, 1. So the same thing I had just written in a statecraft 2, 1, 3, 3, 2, 1. They represent to group 1. Same way this represents to group 3 and another represents to group 3. So now just moving ahead, what to do if we want to calculate the ANOVA? Just click on this 3 tabs. Just click on compare groups. Click on ANOVA, one way ANOVA. See this thing actually I had worked previously, so that is like it is having all the data pre-filled, but again I just want to explain how to work on it. So as I had discussed, like you just need to give the name, that is one way ANOVA. Always remember when there is a variable asked, so here your numerical data should be there. So in variable always enter numerical data, and in factor always remember the categorical data. This is labels are categorical data that we need to enter. So the same thing again I am repeating. When the variable is asked, this data is your variable, the numeric form, you need to add it. The labels means categorical data, जो category बना रही है, group 1 में कितना है, group 2 में कितना है, you just add here as a factor. There are many other things you can do. You can do Bartlett's test, Leven's test, even you can do post hoc analysis, maybe Turkey's HSD is one of the thing. Even you can see the plots, normal plot, you can say QQ plot, even you can see residuals and all other things with this. Even on the basis of it you can change the plot color. Suppose you want orange color, you can select it, and on the basis of it you have given number of options. When you click OK, the interpreted analysis would be in front of you. See, this is the interpreted analysis of the sum. The degree of freedom, that is 2 and 14. This is our sum of squares, that is 22 and 14.03. This is our mean sum of square, and this is the final output, that is our F calculated, that is 11.07. While you are working with a software, you just need to see that your p-value should be greater than 0.5. But here, see, your p-value is less than 0.05. So here you are rejecting your null hypothesis, and you are trying to say that there is some difference in a mean of population among the different groups. Again, I am preparing hypothesis for this sum. Here mu1 would be equal to mu2 would be equal to mu3, that is your null claim, the null hypothesis. Here if there are three groups, you are saying that population mean for group 1 is equal to population mean of group 2 is equal to population mean of group 3, and alternate would be any of the groups population mean would differ. So in this sum there is a difference among the population mean of any of the group, so that's why we reject our null claim. Again, it would be better explained when we calculate it manually.
Okay, so again now we are going to solve the same sum manually. So the same sum I had just written here, and see, basically this sum is given on a basis of column wise. So I had done a column total, that is of all the three category, and overall this is our grand total. Okay, so now the ANOVA sum is basically divided in 8 steps. So we are going step by step. As I said, we would be just learning ANOVA in a very easy method. So first step, always remember, is hypothesis. So now in this case, there are three categories, that is 1, 2 and 3. These are the samples that we have selected from three groups. In statistics it is known as a strata. So from group 1, these are the elements, group 2, these are the elements, and group 3, these are the elements. And from this inferential statistics, we are going to judge the population mean. So our null hypothesis would be mu1 is equal to mu2 is equal to mu3. We basically assume that the population mean of group 1 is equal to population mean of group 2 is equal to population group mean of group 3. Now our alternate hypothesis would be any one of the population mean may differ. Any one of the population mean may differ, that is our alternate hypothesis. Now the step 2 is again very important. It's basically alpha, it is highlighted in question. Most of the time it is 0.05. So we are showing that 5% chances of error can be there, but 95% we have acceptance region. So that was our alpha. It can be given in a question. If it is not given, just go with 0.05. Step 3 is correction factor. See, correction factor is most important step, because when you find out the correction factor, you need to subtract from all of it, that is from BSS, from TSS and from ESS. So our next step is correction factor. So in correction factor, we just need to remember, we just have to do grand total square, that is 60 square divided by n, that is 17. So that is equal to 211.76. Now step 4 is our between sum of square. Between sum of square is nothing. Whenever you just see the word suggests between. So suppose in this case there is a column totals, or you can say the sum is given in a column format. So you need to just take this. So you just have to square this. So sigma Cji whole square divided by n minus Cf. So just remember 12 square divided by the number of elements that are present in that group, or you can say number of samples that have been taken from that group. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So 6 samples were taken from first column. Second, 23 square divided by 5 plus 25 square divided by again 6 minus, again we need to remember correction factor is subtracted. Alright, 12 square divided by 6 you will get 24. Same way 23 square by 5, that you will get 105.8. Similarly 25 square upon 6 you will get 104.166, and subtract it again correction factor, that is 211.76. So here you will get 22.202, the final solution I had done for you all. Now comes the next step, that is total sum of square. Total sum of square is also known as TSS. Now see what we need to do. We just need to square all the elements individually. Like 2 square 4, 1 square 1, 3 square 9, again 9, again 4 and 1 and so on. Every element we just need to square it and then subtract the correction. As I had explained, we just need to do square of all the element and then subtract the CF, that is our 211.76. So here I will get 36.236. So this step is again an easy step we need to do. Now the next important step is error sum of square, that is known as ESS. So ESS can be found of by just applying one small formula, that is TSS minus BSS. Just see the total of TSS, that is 36.236. Subtract the value of BSS, that is 22.202. We will get 14.034. So now we got all the values. Just highlight the values whatever we got. First we got value of correction factor. The second important value we got our between sum of square. The third important value we got, that is total sum of square, and last we got error sum of square. So now we need to prepare, our next step is ANOVA table. So see how to prepare the ANOVA table. You just need to write first between sum of square, error sum of square, total sum of square. So this only we need to write. So first what we need to write, BSS. See, we just need to put the values in a table. So BSS is 22.202. Just write down here in SS, that is source. So 22.202. In error, just write down 14.034. And in total, that is 36.236. So we have just entered the data which we have found previously. Now here it is an important part. We need to find degree of freedom. So in the line where BSS is there, between sum of square is there, at that time you need to remember how many treatment or how many categorical values are there. So here we are having 3. So you need to subtract 1 from it. So 3 minus 1, that is 2. So that is an important part. Next comes ESS, error sum of square. Here what we need to see, we need to calculate the elements. So elements were 17 minus this 3 treatment. So 17 minus 3, that is 14. So this is a degree of freedom for our ESS. Now important step here, if you want to find, then we need to find, otherwise here there is no need for finding any degree of freedom. But for chance, if you need to find out, here n minus 1, that is variables minus 1, so 17 minus 1, here the 16 is the degree of freedom for TSS, but there is no use, so no one is writing here. So here you are having 2 degree of freedom, that is 2 and 14. So now we need to find mean sum of square. So see, mean sum of square, how can we find out? We just need to divide 22.202 by 2. So just divide it. So 22.202 you will get 11.101. Same way 14.034 we need to divide it by 14. So you will get somewhere near 1.006. So now we are having mean sum of square. Now if we need to calculate the ANOVA table or F calculation, what we need to do, again we need to divide it this value by this value. So divide it 11.101 divided by 1. So again my F calculation would be 11 point somewhere near 0.134. So this is my F calculated value. Now most important part comes F tabulated. I just need to know whether this value comes under my critical region or not. So I need to see the table. So just come with me and see the table. For looking the table, we just need to see the degree of freedoms. So our degree of freedom of BSS was 2 and ESS was 14. So in table also this would help us to see the value of F calculated and F tabulated. When I said alpha is important, here the value is 0.05. We need to see the table. Remember in ANOVA always we need to see A7 if you are using CAN Black, otherwise we need to see this heading, that is F distribution table. Now see degree of freedom of BSS, that is 2, and we need to see the ESS degree of freedom, that is 14. So we need to see this value 2 and 14. So our value is 3.74. So 3.74 is our F. So as we have seen from table, 3.74 is our F tabulated value. Now we need to compare it. See, now our calculated value is 11.0134 and our tabulated value is 3.74. So obviously it is greater than that. Before this step, I would like to guide you when to reject the null or when we just say that we have accepted null, but in research we cannot say accepted null, fail to reject the null. So there is a situation or condition that we need to remember. Always remember, calculated value should be less than tabulated value. Then our null is always accepted, but we need to write fail to reject null. If calculated value is greater than tabulated value, we need to reject our null. So see, in our scenario, calculated value is greater than tabulated value. So here our decision is we reject null hypothesis. Now see what it suggests, that the three means, the population mean from the sample, any of the one population mean differs. So thank you my dear friends. Wish you all the best for learning. For more videos, join my channel.